Greetings to all my wonderful students. Today we're going to look a little bit at what is happening around the world with some of the value of companies. All right, now, as you can see, the world has a network of online trading for company stocks and company values. You got these stock trading markets throughout the world. Irish Stock Exchange, London, the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Pretty much these nations have stock exchange for the value of companies that are within these nations. Okay, you guys are more than welcome to check out these links. You can type these into your search bar and look at the source yourself. But we're going to see why so many nations want to trade with USA. Google, the parent company of Google, Apple, and Microsoft are colossal, just enormous. We're going to look at some companies from around the world, mostly US based, that generate more income than nations. Spotify generates more income than, if you can pronounce, Mauritania. Where is that? I don't even know where that is. Okay. Mauritania. Okay. So Spotify, Netflix generates more money than Malta. Tesla, more money than Albania's GDP. Visa, more money than Bosnia. Corte Inglés, that's from Spain, more money than Libya. Starbucks, more money than Trinidad. McDonald's, more money than New Guinea. Mercadona, that's a Spanish company, more money than Nepal. BBVA, Estonia. Index, more money than Paraguay. I'm not sure where that company's from. Walt Disney, more money than Bulgaria. So many of the Telefonica, another Spanish company. But many of Johnson & Johnson, more than Estonia. Okay, so many companies, Microsoft, more money than Slovakia. Nike, more money than Cameroon's GDP. You actually have companies throughout the world that are trading with more money than some nations have to spend. But currently, we're watching a dip take place in all these nations with their amount of money that they're spending is going away. Coca-Cola, that's based in here in Atlanta, all right? More money than Bulvania. Okay, but what we're seeing here is even with these giant companies, this just came out October 2nd. This was a warning. Millions of Americans may not able. You can see the link. Millions of Americans may not be able to pay their rent in October. That was a warning. So that was a warning, and sure enough, that came true very recently on October 19th. More than 6 million households missed their payments of mortgage in September. Okay, so that one warned that, hey, something's looming here. We don't know what's going on. Well, I think we do know. So here we see all these stock market and their exchange using Google Maps here. All the stock market and exchange. Companies are selling their shares around the world. Okay, now, because these shares are stopping and companies are beginning to lose momentum, the value of their shares is beginning to fall. And we can see that around the world. Okay, so here's the London index. What we have here in the one-day trading average is it looks like it's going down. Okay, here is this. Remember, that's the value of companies from England. Dow Jones Industrial down. Value of companies on the industrial area from USA. Caterpillar, Ford, all this kind of stuff. It's down. S&P 500 value of companies. This is today trading, going down. NASDAQ, value of technological companies, going down. But remember, never forget this, right? Graphs can be manipulating. What do I mean? So when a graph goes down like this, we have here is our, let's say our money, and let's say this is time. Okay? You might actually see a graph like this, and you might think, oh my gosh, the end of the world is upon us. But graphs are manipulating many times, because let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. Let's do a zoom, okay? And let's look at the graph, not for just one day, but let's look at the graph for, let's say, 1 year. And what we might see is this, okay? Instead of looking at the graph for 1 day and we say, oh no, we look at the graph for 1 full year and we can say, okay, that looks better. Okay, so let's do that. Let's zoom this out. All right, so here's the London Stock Index. Let's go to, today it looks daunting. Let's go 1 year out. This is when the coronavirus hit. Looks pretty steady from there. Dow Jones Industrial Average, 1 year. Actually, it looks pretty good, except that, you know, that 1 day really stands out. All right, S&P 500, 1 year. That 1 day is really sticking out. Here's the NASDAQ. Let's zoom out to 1 year. That 1 day is really sticking out there too, isn't it? Right there. But on the general, they look like they're strong. But it might be a little deceiving, because when Americans around the world stop purchasing, it impacts everyone. What do I mean by that? Electronics, computers, Samsung phones, Toyota cars, Kia cars, Hyundai cars, Mitsubishi motorcycles. They're going around the world and they're being sold. Americans love new cars, and they're not buying new cars. American loves to buy home in the suburbs. Okay, Americans love to have their driveway and their truck coming up and their 2-car garage. But unfortunately, right now, Americans, that's a nice, beautiful home. Nothing wrong with living there. It's nice, right? Ooh, look at that one. That's really big. Americans love to build their own little world. But what happens when people are not able to pay rent? Well, they get eviction. Now, the reason why the stock market is going down so much is because Congress here is failing to pass eviction protections. They, and President Trump plays a big role in this, they cannot come to an agreement. All right, House. Okay, so you have two chambers in the House. You have the Senate and you have the House of Representatives. The Senate, every state gets 2 votes. 2 votes, 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 2 votes. Doesn't matter the population. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. How many does California get? 2. How many does New York get? 2. Okay, so every senator here comes from one of the states. 2 come from one state. And the House of Representatives is based off population. Obviously, there's going to be more House of Representatives from New York than where I moved from South America from Wisconsin. So, Senate's controlled currently by the Republicans. House is currently controlled by the Democrats. They cannot get along. They hate each other. They are spitting on each other right now. And they despise each other with a passion. And they can't agree on anything. They cannot agree on anything. And because of that, Republicans are saying, we want we want a stimulus bill because our economy is falling apart. It really is. We want a stimulus bill that achieves this much money, 1.8 trillion, I think. There's what Republicans want. And Democrats are saying, no, we want a stimulus bill that was 2.3 trillion. I think of something like that. We want that to be happening. And because they can't get it, there's current war taking place here. Now, because this war here is taking place, nothing is getting accomplished. Money for people, money for hospitals, money for schools, money for people to go to whatever, and money for unemployment is all being stopped because Trump, the Senate leader Mitch McConnell, and Nancy Pelosi are pretty much acting like they're pretty much acting like they're in high school and they're just name calling each other on Twitter as opposed to getting along and helping. As a result, you have these downward trends taking place, and companies are beginning to fire people. They're beginning to fire people. Unemployment, that means people can't find job, is going up and down 8.4% from 10%. But that's looking in the past. They're expecting this to go up. Because if they can't pass a resolution that will aid and help, then it can't work. So companies are trying to do everything in their power, like Apple. iPhone 2. Apple just released an iPhone 12. And it's a beautiful brand new phone. And they are hoping Americans will buy it. Now, Americans probably will buy the iPhone 12. Even though Apple needs to save money. It needs to save money and it needs to earn money. It needs to earn money. Look at Apple shares. Apple shares are going down. Apple needs to earn money. So what does Apple do? They come out with a brand new iPhone. Apple comes out with a brand new iPhone. Here's my new iPhone. Ooh, it's pretty. iPhone. And they sell the iPhone without a charger. iPhone, they sell with the charger, but no plug into the wall. So you have to buy that separately. And plus, the charger that comes with Apple is one almost no one can use because it's USB Type-C to Lightning, which you have to special order that because no one has that. So Apple is finding ways of generating cash because their stock value is going down.